Hello and welcome to Piano Lessons, Boulder. I'm Sarah Hager. Last time we looked at the second movement of Haydn Sonata in E flat, and we saw that it is like an aria from an opera and that it is one of the most beautiful slow movements ever written for the keyboard, whether harpsichord or piano. Today we will just take up a brief tutorial on the same movement. So as you know, it is in the key of B flat, which is the dominant key of the sonata, which is E flat major, and very common to have the second movement in the dominant key. However, it goes twice into B flat minor, first with another second subject, a subsidiary subject, and then in the whole middle section. This going straight from B flat major directly into B flat minor without any warning was not done until Schubert did it in his songs. And so in this, by doing this, Haydn actually foreshadows Schubert. Now, we have to bear in mind that Haydn had a very long life. He was born in 1732 and died in 1820. When Haydn was born in 1732, it was still the Baroque period. Bach was still very much alive, and the great Matthäus and Johannes Passions had still to be composed. On the other hand, then he lived through the Enlightenment, which is the period to which Haydn really belongs as a composer. But then, when he died, Chopin, Schumann, Liszt, Mendelssohn were already 10 years old. Beethoven had only 7 more years left to live, and Schubert had a mere 8 years left to live. So his life really spanned a great time in the history of European music. And so in this movement, he foreshadows very clearly the romantic movement that is yet to come. Last time we saw that this is, like an aria, and that we must not hesitate to pedal and so on. Now, this brings us to the tutorial part. The main theme is relaxed. And then it is immediately repeated with a little bit of variation. So the latter part of the theme is right? And further down in measure 29, that same tune comes back as so play naturally. The ornamentation is complex. It requires there are 16 notes, 30-second notes, triplets and 30-second notes, and so on. So it requires, when you are studying it, a lot of thinking, what is the rhythm, how do I count? But once you've got that figured out, play the ornaments naturally. It's like an improvisation. Haydn is really improvising at his harpsichord or piano, and it must have been very hard for him to write all this down, because arithmetically it is very complex. In the development section, the theme comes back twice, and this section is now comes back as, so it comes back as, so when you have repeated notes, make sure you do nuances, play them with nuances so that they don't sound clunky. And the final appearance of the theme is in measure 100. Now, here for the last and final time when the theme appears, Haydn interrupts it, you know. It should have ended with, but he doesn't do that. He does G minor. And then an even more surprising interruption, the F dominant 7, and that is as if he smiles and says, look, I could go on improvising on this theme forever, but I must stop before I start maundering. And he then starts the coda. And so on. So this is as regards the principal theme. Now there is also a secondary theme which is also very important. As you see, it is relaxed enough, just like the first theme, but without any warning, it goes into the tonic minor, B flat minor, and is very sad and lamenting. This is not just a personal sorrow, but like meditating on the sadness of the world. And so that is very dramatic and very unexpected, especially from Haydn. And then the middle section with the flowing accompaniment really anticipates Schubert. And so on. Since I played the whole movement without interruption in the last tutorial, I shall not play very large sections in this one. So I think this about sums it up, and you could keep in mind above all to make the ornamentation sound natural and play it naturally, not as if it's counted arithmetically and figured out, and it doesn't have to be played in a stilted manner, so to speak. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and until we see each other next time, thank you.